if this works like this.
Mm.
This is what I've been trying to set up.
I saw that Valhalla in there for the spring sale for like $40. I was like,
40.
maybe after my bills.
Okay. Let me see. Make sure it's going. It should be almost live. Are we live? Oh, I think we're live. Oh.
Oh, we're live.
This thing is
are
on.
we live? Oh, I don't know. You hit the button.
No, okay. This thing is this thing on. You know, Harley Quinn from Arkham Asylum there. Okay. Well, Frostbite, you do the honors. It's your show.
Oh joy. Man, I didn't share this anywhere to tell people I was doing it. Crap. So hey, how's it going, guys? Frostbite here with another Game Talk Live with Warwolf.
Hello.
And in the spirit of everything, seeing that I just got done with Last of Us 2 in time for Outriders, but also we wanted to get this game talk out of the way for so long.
For like
Wolf's
a year.
been over here fucking scratching at the door for like a year now, trying to get me to get it done.
This game is amazing.
So, yeah, it is. It was definitely what the twist. A lot of those moments in it.
Okay, so I was thinking we can start this off with the whole thing of this is a part 2. So this is definitely a game where you are seeing a lot of. I'm just going to jump into the model viewer real quick just to show off the characters we're going to be talking about, because this game actually has a really cool model viewer. This is one of these games. So the first game, as everybody knows, Ellie, she is like the package that this guy down here, Joel, he where is it? Basically, this guy here, Joel, he gets there's this woman. I'm very sure her name was Marlene. You end up seeing her in like a flashback cutscene, but yeah, the whole thing of Joel not wanting. He's like this reluctant person to be dragging a person across the whole entire country to try and bring them over to a encampment. Along the way, you end up taking out so many people. So that's where this game really kind of comes in. That's the gist of part 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some chapter select here. And
oh no. Here we go cheating away.
I'm going to actually put it on very light. I'll put it on light. We'll put it on light just to get a nice little bounce. So there is a ton of accessibility in this game. Just to jump into game mechanics for a split second, pre-order bonus stuff, but you're going to see just how much. So awareness indicators, I actually kind of like doing this for stealth ways. So you have a nice indicator that you're getting spotted as long as you're in stealth. And then as soon as you hear the boom, then all hell breaks loose. But
okay.
The accessibility options are through the roof on this. So if you're looking to experience a story, there's 2 games I've seen. People that are blind, people that are deaf, and have handicap disabilities. There's 2 games I've seen them actually cry because they actually got to experience this medium, and it's this game and Spider-Man. Like those 2 games. Those 2 games are just, they're amazing.
Fuck. I had up and then fucking doesn't want to sit there anymore. Fuck it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a PlayStation Studios game, technically. It came out before they rebranded the PlayStation Studio, because and of course Naughty Dog, the makers of Crash Bandicoot, Uncharted, and actually the man who co-wrote, I'm pretty sure, Uncharted 4, Neil Druckmann, he's cleaning off the fretboard. This guitar is like one of the most important things in the whole story right here.
You're supposed to take the fireflies and walk away.
It is.
Shout out to the cast on this too.
You go halfway across the country.
Yeah.
So as right here.
While we got this going, I had another follower. So let's do a real quick shout out to Red Dark Soul. Thanks for following, bud.
All right.
Business.
So
Maybe I just want to do right by her.
oh man, this game.
And then we make
I mean, I don't even know where to
There's-
start as far as like the story goes. I mean, it goes like, should we throw out the spoiler alert and just get it out there in the open?
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's pretty hard not to do spoilers in a game talk on this one, because my
Yeah.
God, everything.
They were killed.
Oh, see. So, spoiler alert. So as far as the storyline goes in this one, I won't go like big and tell you every single fucking detail.
I might.
But-
um,
But you kind of find out that Joel has a bit of a dark past.
well, in all honesty, and this is where a lot of people, they're very split down the middle, because on one side, and this is one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this game talk so badly. I've actually done Let's Talks on it and everything too. Throughout the whole first game, you are getting hints, you are getting told that Joel is not the greatest person in the world. He's done bad stuff. He has been the anti-hero since the beginning. For some reason, and it blows my mind, there's so much of the fan base that is just looking at Joel as being like this super nice guy, greatest Father of the Year award ever, amazing, father figure, and he is, he absolutely is to Ellie. But his past is a very dark and shady one, and as you're going through, Ellie is actually reaffirming that, but when she's talking to Dina, there is a specific section where she is actually saying all that. So let me actually get the gameplay going here a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, throughout the game you find out more and more about this. And it comes down to, well, let's get past that part. Go to you eventually end up coming from a perspective from like both sides of the story.
And that perspective is kind of the whole point of the game in a major sense. Part 2, I mean, the perspective shift of not only going from Joel to Ellie, but also like one of the biggest plot twists I would say in gaming history. And I'm not exaggerating, I'm not joking. It is seriously one of the biggest like mind opener. Like, it teaches you like real life lessons of to think from the other side. I was hitting the wrong button. Oops. As you can see, the visuals on this too. Like, before Ghost of Tsushima was doing all of its stuff, this game was just visually just showcasing. They both do it. They both do it in their own ways. I just totally went the wrong way. There we go.
Yeah. So and throughout the different perspective, you watch Ellie go from like who she is, what she's fighting for, to just the point where she's just like, screw it, I'm giving up everything for revenge.
And the reason for the
And it comes-
revenge, the reason for the revenge, I think we need to jump into another chapter for that revenge, which is I have to hold on, I gotta load this one real quick. Bounce over to there.
Yeah, and then it just comes down to a big game of eye for an eye from both sides, basically. Right up to the end, where there's like, I won't spoil the very end for you guys, but I'll tell you, it's a hell of a twist. Like, you don't see it coming.
It's this one. This is the reason why I was kind of saying maybe we should try and pre-record this, but This is like one of the biggest chapters in the whole game that sets on this crash course in
Mhm.
insanity
If-
for both characters. Although, so the biggest plot twist perspective shift in the game comes from Abby catching up with Ellie. Abby being the kind of rogue leader of what was once the Fireflies, now the Wolves. And she is hell bent because the amazing part of this is both of the female leads in this, they both
Mhm.
have their different sides of the story. They both have their loves, but they also both have their families. They both have their stories that are intertwined, but are almost exactly the same in different ways. So it's just this perspective
Um,
shift of both of them fighting for the exact same thing, which is revenge, for the exact same reasons, which is murder. But it's like on both sides, and you can see right here, like Abby is actually riding on the back of the horse with Joel. Joel's trying to be the nice guy. I mean, Abby's doing what Abby does to trying to get the objective done.
I mean, Ellie.
No, that's Abby on the back.
Oh,
Let's skip past that.
just heads up, if you don't want to see this part, you want to see it for your own, I would suggest you skip ahead a little bit because
would-
it's coming up.
I would highly suggest, if you are watching this on YouTube or anything, I would highly suggest keeping this video for after you. Definitely after. I mean, even so far, what we've talked about is major spoilers, but like I would 100% say go through this game with your own, on your own playthrough, basically. Do not do not play this game, or do not watch this video until you play the game. Like,
Yeah.
definitely, like, is too good.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
So this is definitely one of these scenes where, so this scene is, so Troy Baker, the one who voices Joel, and also Ashley Johnson, the one who voices Ellie, and Laura Bailey, the one who voices Abby, all-star cast. My God, Troy Baker, he's been in everything from Booker DeWitt in BioShock Infinite
Yeah.
to,
And here's where shit goes down. This is the
but this part,
This is the part in the game. This is like way early game. This is the part of the game where I actually was just like, why? I just couldn't. I put the game down for a minute. I could get my. It took me a minute to be able to get back into the game.
So I had heard, like, I kind of knew Joel was going to get hit. I just didn't know how it was going to happen. And so this whole part, if anybody goes back and looks at my stream, and if you look at the wolf patch, it's literally my logo too, which I was like, wow, okay. So this, like, how Joel goes out, I didn't know. So to go back to the whole voice cast thing, they always do a press tour, right, for each game. They fly over to different countries and they start promoting the game around the world. It didn't happen because this game was coming out during the pandemic, in the height of the COVID virus that had everybody in lockdown, that had the whole 9 yards of all that
Which
stuff.
I mean,
This
it kind
game
of worked out too in itself because I mean they got a thing going on in the game. You got something going on.
Well,
I mean that was an
here's
interesting twist.
here's the IRL perspective of it. Before this game came out, the whole script of the game leaked. Everybody that wanted to know the story knew the story about a week before the game came out, or about a month actually before the game came out, because the whole story leaked. So everybody was in the media lockdown. Everybody was in regular lockdown, IRL, and so there was, like, the internet started becoming a blaze about this game and how half of them absolutely fucking despised it because of this scene right here, and how half of them thought it was an incredibly written story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is just
Oh, just oh, God.
and then the perspective shift once again. So this game is like looking through the eyes of your enemy and seeing
Mm-hmm.
what the other side is going through. So basically, it's just showing like your enemy just thinks they're doing the right thing. And this is like something that I've had a
Yep.
rule of thumb myself of for years.
It's
Your enemies always
always
think they're the good guys.
Yep.
Good,
One
bad,
side always thinks
it's all
it's
an opinion.
the good side.
Exactly. It's all an opinion. So this really just it's Troy Baker was kind of saying like this is in a sense like a empathy machine. Like a lot of these games like this are that. I will say like if you have never heard Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson talk about this game, especially Troy, because he kind of there's a reason why Joel has a very big shift in character between the first game and this game, because Troy did a lot of growing up. The first game, he was just kind of like a rogue. I mean, it's just IRL. He was just a rogue actor, just trying to play a part and everything. And then he saw so much that Joel meant so much to everyone that he also had a kid. So the whole father son aspect of his real life leaked into the whole Joel and Ellie father-daughter aspect. So it was just like this. I mean, it was just a perfect timing, perfect storm of everything working together. All the puzzle pieces fell into place with this game. And just like I said, it's just amazing the way everything just came together.
There it is. It's just oof.
Also, I mean, big shout out to Ashley Johnson. Like this, I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit here, but the acting in this fucking part. I couldn't just.
You're gonna fucking die.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Let him go.
I mean, you feel this.
Who is that? Let him
She
go.
snuck in.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you posted up
I did.
outside?
We didn't think anyone was gonna show up.
The hell did you
That's
do?
why I had to put the game down for a minute before I could get back into it, and then all hell went loose, and it took me almost a damn year to
Right?
be able to get back to it.
Just the way that Ellie starts screaming at Joel, get the fuck up, Joel. You're not done. She's just, I mean, she's literally looking at her father getting assassinated.
I mean, he knows it's over. He just kind of accepts it.
Joel, please get up.
Oof.
Jesus, my throat just fucking closed. Just seeing that. It's just something about the scene after everything. And I mean, you're feeling what Ellie's feeling, but at the same time, it's just, I mean,
It just hits you right in the feels. It's just
so you have
heartbreaking to see this.
And I'm sorry for everyone to make you go through all this again with this game talk, but this is such a serious, like real life lesson maker, of everything.
Good night.
So
okay.
So now let's switch it over to the perspective of the other side and the reason why all this happens, which is amazing in itself, the writing and everything. And whether you like Abby, whether you team Ellie or team Ellie or team Abby, team Allie, if you're on both sides, I guess. There is a slight bit of reasoning for both sides. They are equals. They are not, it's not just like you're bad because you're a bad guy. You're a villain. That's just it.
And the whole What'd I do?
That was the wrong. Oh, because I need to do
Uh
Odyssey.
oh.
My bad. Oh,
I may have lost.
there we go. What
No one's still. My phone's being funny.
is Discord acting up?
Could be. Because I just got a load. I got the loading circle of death. But I can keep going. I can keep. Oh, there it goes.
There you
I
go.
can keep going. So basically, what it comes down to is Abby never knew Ellie's quote unquote secret. If you haven't played the first one, but all Abby's after was just eye for an eye.
So
Joel killed her dad, and then she basically go back after him.
and here's okay.
And Ellie happened to get hurt in the process.
It's
You know?
okay. So here's where this game does an amazing job at hitting you in the feels, the player itself. So in the first game, you are just ranked. You have only Joel's perspective, and this is where like the whole series is all about perspective, and we didn't know it until this game dropped, and you start playing through it. You get halfway through this game, and then that's when it's just like mind blown on multiple different fronts. As soon as you start playing as Abby, and you start seeing this whole Wolves compound and everything, this is where my mind melted at this, because it was this realization of not only is Abby fighting for her stuff and everything, but also everyone that you're killing in Joel's perspective, they're just regular NPCs. They're just regular nobodies. When you hit Abby's perspective, they have families, they have lives, they're actual people. You know them by name. All this hits you as you start running through the hospital.
As you're running through it, they're calling out each other's names, like,
Exactly.
"Oh my God, Bob!" and
the
shit
dogs'
like that.
names
They're
and
actually
everything.
putting names to these NPCs. They're not just random NPCs
What
now.
happens-
They're actual people.
What happens when you name something? It's like that type of thing. So this whole place you were just running through, and there was just people shooting at you. You didn't care who they were. They were just just faces with guns. Who cares? I'm going in. I'm trying to save my daughter. Basically, I'm trying to go in and save my girl that I just went across the whole country with, because she's about ready to be killed. This hallway right here, you are running through. I was throwing smoke bombs and fucking Molotovs down these hallways and everything, running through and just destroying people in the first game.
Yep.
There's no names in the first game either, if you notice. None of that stuff is in the first game, because it's Joel's perspective. He doesn't care, which makes it makes him an anti-hero. Sorry, everyone out there, but the regular hero would be trying to look for a way of doing it without hurting everyone. Joel doesn't give a shit. He's just on a mission, and you totally get it from his perspective also. If you are Joel and they have and the Fireflies are gonna kill the one chance that you have at redemption of being a father, these people are, who gives a fuck? Who cares? They're dead. I don't care about any of these people. But if you're looking at it from Abby's perspective, where okay, I've talked to these people, I know these people, I've trained with these people. What other game does that? I tout Mass Effect all the time as being one of the best written storyline games ever, because of the implications over multiple games and save files and all that stuff. This game does something that even Mass Effect doesn't.
Yeah.
It's like a perspective shift to the extreme on 3 different characters, 3 different levels. Ellie's hearing the names. Ellie's noticing that, yes, these people have lives and everything. I don't give a shit because she just killed my father. I'm trying to figure out how to actually get by this without. Yeah. I think this is how you do it. I'm trying to get the burrito. There's a burrito I gotta get. Yeah,
there's a burrito.
There's the burrito.
Exactly what I need is I need a case of the Taco Bell. Taco Bell shits in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. Yep, that's how this is gonna work.
Hey, yeah, a hot steamer will go a long ways. I know we just went from very dramatically.
See, and then you're going through here like, Abby, here's all these names and shit. as you're playing through her perspective, you know, all these people for the wolves, and as you're sitting here playing for Abby, you get to know these people, and you're getting that much more oof every you know when you go back and realize when you see all these people getting dropped, and you know.
There was a lot of people that couldn't handle it too. There was a lot of people I think at this point in time. Okay, here's one thing I'm really curious to see real quick. I'm actually really curious to see where is the trophy for completing the game. I am really curious to see how many people actually completed the game. Complete the story. Just over half. 60% of players actually completed the game. So that means 40% of the players at some point the story, I mean, the game could have been boring for them or any of that stuff where they just never got around to actually completing it because of real life or anything.
I almost want to say like 40% of the people that play in the game probably just that minute with Joel was just like, no, I'm done.
Exactly. It was either the Joel moment, the Abby moments, one of the Ellie moments. Like there's a good chance that they put the game down. They were just like, I can't do this. It's too heavy. It's too much.
It could have been right there at the end of Ellie's perspective.
So it's
before you switch over to Abby, that could have been a big turning point for a lot of people too. Like, I can't do this anymore.
What the hell? Okay. So you'll also so this kind of goes into the whole thing of like yeah, let's just go to the next door because then we're gonna end up seeing like the let's see here. Wait 1 second. No, we can't skip past the cutscene. All right, so you can actually see out this window here that they have the whole stadium is actually set up. So it's not just like a few families. It's a community.
Community.
You know?
Yep.
It's the whole.
And then it'd be probably a great spot too to actually just kind of transition over to talking about the look of the game.
Yeah. So
because you got a great fucking spot right there.
All right, so I'm not quite sure which game. So it's definitely the same game engine as the Uncharted series and all that. It's Naughty Dog's game engine. So it's a really, really cool thing. Going back to the accessibility thing, which I think is definitely overlooked a lot of times. There is a lot of, so we're going to use this bra real quick. You can go into options. This is an awesome thing. So Sony, in a lot of their titles, most of all the titles, they've been doing like alternate controls to where so button presses, instead of being just, you know, it's cranking on the button and tap 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 tap, you can select it to hold. So then you just hold the button and it does that. Melee combat also, so you can just hold the button and you'll just start swinging away and everything. If you have like wrists that can't do, you know, multiple taps, then it helps out there. Aiming modes, sprinting, crafting, like it does all that stuff. Also camera assist and everything. And then really awesome, all these modes right here. Let's see here. So these modes right here help out tremendously with people that are like very blind and everything. It makes the whole game area so you can actually see it really well. As soon as you pick something up, I've seen people playing. I've seen people playing this game and they've never been able to get into other story-driven games, so they've never actually been able to experience the medium. They just play like, you know, competitive online stuff because they are blind or whatever. Like, there's a couple fighting game players also that did it. They were literally in tears, just actually being able to check this out because it is so accessible. I've seen that also with Spider-Man too, where just people are like little kids playing Spider-Man and they are just they're like in tears because they can actually experience something that all the friends are and everything. It's so awesome. And then all you gotta do is just swipe on the touchpad and it goes away. again, also like there's a lot of interactables in the world. There's also a lot of banter between characters back and forth while you're walking through the world. So there's a lot of immersion into the game world. When players get hits, let me jump into an actual like encounter. When the NPCs and the players get hit, there is so much detail in the combat. So much detail in the combat on this. You hit somebody, they start screaming. If you get hit, you can actually get dropped on your back. Let's jump into an encounter here.
You're completely in your ass. And you got like I kind of chuckled about it every time it happened. Or made a little comment. It's like when you shoot somebody, like you kill somebody, they hit the ground and they just start screaming until they bleed out or whatever.
Which is like,
just like, geez, can you die already? Damn.
I'll use this area right here. So you can also use the tickers a lot of times, and I think we're gonna turn the game volume back on just so we can get the full effect of this. It's gonna be kind of low in the background, but oops. Oh god. Oh, hold on. My bad.
So talking about the look and the feel of this game was just oof. You know, it was good.
Which it also it carries into like the Uncharted games. They've been building on the look and feel of the Naughty Dog games. There's a lot of people that were saying that they didn't like the feeling of this too, which was like, how can you not? I myself don't exactly get it. All right, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna do one of these. Hold on. So we're gonna make.
You realize you just threw a Molotov, right?
Right over here.
So as you can see,
You get completely knocked on his ass there.
you can go into the mode like this to be able to check stuff. But I just used the enemies in the game world to my advantage.
You just threw a bottle. Waste of Molotov, good.
Well,
perfectly good
I had the
Molotov for it.
Molotov in my inventory, so I used it. So as you can see, like you really get like hitbacks, all this stuff.
Yeah, so you actually get
Whoa.
like, well, I don't know necessarily you feel it. Like, well, you're playing on PS5, so you probably feel it in the controller. But for all of us that are still stuck back on the PS4,
The detail,
you
the
can
detail on it, man.
the detail of it, the fact that it's just you get that shot and you're like, ugh, you know, you feel it.
The other thing too is so there is no next gen version of this. This still is only running at 30 FPS. We are all kind of complaining about it. We all really want a next gen version. It comes down to Naughty Dog making the next gen version, so I'm actually going to do this the right way. I just wanted to show off the little bit of details, like when you're getting shot and everything. So a lot of times you can actually do the encounters like this.
Over here.
I should have done this. Now I have one right behind me. We're gonna go over here.
Run, Mr. Poopy
Fuck.
Pants, run!
Oh god.
I started running. Don't know why I was running, Johnny. This
Yep.
is the ongoing thing we got going. what you thinking?
Here we go. Hold on, hold on. This guy.
Oh.
This guy. Okay. This motherfucker's on my
Yep.
ass. Ah! Oh god.
And the Techers are just as annoying as they were in the first one. They get a hold of you, you're done. That's it. Yep,
Got
there
sandwiched.
goes.
I got
Yeah, just-
sandwiched.
Just as gory as it was in the first one too.
Okay. All right. I picked like one of the hardest areas to do.
You were almost a Joe sandwich.
I was a Jill sandwich. Technically.
That you come on, guys. Everybody's over there frowning about that one, but you know it was coming. You know, you can't play a survival horror type of game without having that reference.
No! I ran into it. Why did I run into it? I don't know why I ran into it. I just ran into it. And
Damn it.
Oh, jeez. Burn it with fire. Burn it with fire.
Give it a Mazel tov. That's not a Mazel tov. That's a
Nope,
shotgun.
I'm trying to get my shotgun. Lots of people after me. Could you not shoot me in the ass? Like a total dick. Sorry. There
Wow,
we go.
you didn't have any of the trap mines. You did this.
This
You're
is
roughing
actually
it.
this is, if you watch my stream, this is actually the save directly from my stream. There's another. So you can actually use the listen mode to figure out exactly where everyone is, which is cool. Ouch.
Mhm.
That seemed like
Yeah, and also go with this. You also got a couple new concepts in the game too. Is they have some of the groups have dogs. I think it's mainly the wolves. They have dogs, and when you go into that listen mode, you can see like a little scent trail. The dog's chasing you down, and I can see again why probably another chunk of people were like, "Oh, screw this! You gotta kill the puppy."
yes, that was a major blowback
Yeah.
on this, was, you know, the whole thing of killing dogs. So that's, I mean, that's a little bit of Taste of Combat. You have a lot of like dark zones, but then you also have the wide open bright areas too. Like this one here, to
You might as well just go to the final Santa Barbara and go do one of those encounters where it's bright out.
yeah, to get Ellie's combat in there a little bit. So again, you know, you get hit, you get dropped on your ass. If you shoot somebody like in the leg, they will start limping. If you get shot in the arm or something, then again, and this is also running on PS5. It does still
Like,
take this kind of long.
Yes, that was the fun
to
part about the
load.
combat too. Is your character actually reacts to being hit,
Yes.
but you don't see that in a lot of games unless it's
When-
like, you know, a really actioned, you know, punchy like God of War or something like that, where
If you
your
if
character
you
gets hit, you-
if you shoot them and they don't die, then yeah, like that whole thing of them screaming.
Mhm.
I have actually had it before where when they start screaming, it's like the Walking Dead moment. One person starts screaming and all the zombies start attacking them. I've actually had that happen
Yep.
before.
Oh, nice.
So you actually still have the moments like that. Again, Ellie being there's different character moments in this, but Ellie being totally immune. Really, you're just not gonna let me do it.
Nope.
Abby has totally different combat than what Ellie does. She has different situations that she's put in because she is immune to the spores and everything. Another thing you can also do too is, Joel, if you stop. Joel, I was trying to show something off and you just totally ruined my moment. I was trying to do a little dip and switch on him. You can actually juke and jive on this in the combat itself.
Yep.
Which you can actually find videos on Twitter by Sunhee Legend, that little co-op action. Boom. Go into that. If I did it the right way, Abby actually does it better because she's more trained than Ellie. Where
Yeah.
Abby, she will actually. That's a good thing that you said, to go into the other encounter with Abby. So then you can actually see Abby will straight up just punch everyone right in the mouth, and she's like, I don't care.
Yep.
So Santa Barbara, let's go to
Santa Barbara would probably be.
well, Santa Barbara is
You probably
actually,
want to go back before that a little
Yeah.
bit.
That's a giant spoiler, isn't it? Yeah, that's a giant spoiler. So then there is also factions in this too. That's another huge thing in this.
Yep.
So there is a cult faction, which basically this is like the cult's place of living. A lot of bows and arrows and stuff. So the cult is pretty much they are the scars. So the scars, they don't use any old world tech, meaning anything before the outbreak they cannot use. Like that's their culture.
And that's where you need to queue up Weird Al's Amish Paradise.
Or you can be grown up about it and be like, okay, these guys are weird. But you know, you have fireflies, you have wolves, you have the Jackson encampment, you have the scars. Everybody's just trying to survive. There is multiple perspectives, which you also start getting the perspectives of the scars and the reason why they're doing what they're doing. They're just trying to like live peacefully off the lands and such. And then the the high command of the wolves makes it so that there's a turf war going on, and kind of in a sense, so there's a turf war going on, but then but the main focus of the story is Abby and Ellie and their revenge tour against each other, just destroying each other in the process of it. There is a straight up like Resident Evil style couple moments in this too, with major boss fights happening throughout. Some of the enemies almost feel like boss fights in themselves too. Like
a couple new enemy types in the game too.
Yes,
they brought in like 2 new ones.
That makes you really.
So you got a lot of the old ones in there, and like you'll see a bloater here or there, but you don't see them as much as you did in the first.
I'm trying to say, let's just go here. We can actually.
I mean, you can go to the encounter where she's in the hospital.
Shoot. Yeah.
Like when Abby is in the hospital, and if you want to show off her combat a little bit, probably one of the better spots to do it.
I don't know what encounter this is. I think it's the one I'm thinking of, but we're gonna see. You can actually see kind of both.
Shit.
You can see both characters running at the same time. If this is the right one.
Yeah. I'm surprised, man. You weren't lying though. That we could go on about this one for a good minute. We've been at it for like 40 minutes.
Don't you fucking run!
Again, to the funny meme that Abby is just like buff. She's so buff.
Yep.
So now I picked a very low lighting situation for this, but half of the game is set in the daytime. Like half the game is really well lit and everything. Again, it's just this revenge tour between the two of them, and they're absolute equals in gameplay and story. Everything and anything that these two are doing are absolute equals. Ellie has her father. Abby has her father that gets killed. Ellie has Joel that gets killed. It's total, like I said, it's absolute total 100% equals. They both have their different factions. Ellie's got Jackson. Abby's got the wolves and everything. I'm trying to find where is it. I got to sneak up on her, I think. If I remember right.
Yep.
But just the combat overall, I mean, they're both using bombs, they're both using balls, they're both using knives, Ellie uses a bow and arrow, Abby uses
crossbow,
yeah.
Yeah, because when it comes down to combat in the game, you have just look at the first one, you have multiple options on how to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Come into your combat situation.
Go Rambo,
you can
be
all stealth. Yep, you can go Rambo it. You can do stealth. You can do straight up freaking walk up. Hey, I'm right here, and start just shooting people. Sometimes you got the advantage of the infected. You can use them.
As you can see right here, like Abby is so much more. She's so much more capable in combat because she has been trained, like military-wise. Now a funny little part that I think everybody kind of forgot about is Ellie was in the Wolves encampment. She's gone through some of the same training. She knows the tactics. Yep, and there we go. I got dropped on my ass. Death scenes.
Blammo, right in the face.
There's so many death scenes in this too for every enemy,
there
every
is.
encounter, and everything. I won't spoil too much of that part, but just that, I mean, it just goes to show, like, she has military training, she has the whole 9 yards of everything. Boy, I just what have we not touched upon?
We did the look at the game, the feel of the game, the story. God, I don't know.
The importance of the perspectives of it, the ending. So major spoiler. Oh, that's the other. Okay, that's actually one of the main ones I wanted to bring up myself. So the ending of the game. What do you think is going to end up coming of? Where is it? What do you think is going to become of the ending of this, and where is it going to lead? Abby and Ellie. Ellie's lost a couple fingers. She was stabbed pretty brutally. What is going to be? I mean, she can't play guitar anymore, which was her memories of Joel.
They both they probably both basically just lost everybody.
Even the kid is like, that's Yara. Lev. Even so Ellie has. Here's where the story is finally starting to split between the two of them. So Lev is kind of this weird, different thing,
Yep.
Abby has Lev. Who does Ellie have? She lost Dina. She lost the baby.
Yeah. She got nobody.
She lost Joel. She lost Jackson. I mean, Tommy, I guess, is still out there.
I feel there's room for a third.
Oh, there absolutely.
In which, like, Abby's lost everything. Maybe the only thing she's got going for right now is that she's immune. So what if they come out with a third, and it's, you see, like, the three of them end up bumping back into each other, and they actually find the Fireflies, and the Fireflies figured out a way to not have to kill Ellie to get the shit to figure out how she's immune and build the vaccine and cure everybody.
Okay. Boy, how do I? Okay, I have to set this up very carefully. If anybody is squeamish about assault or anything, please skip forward. I think they're going to go very dark with the story. And this might just be my brain going very dark and twisted because of the story being in a very dark and twisted place. And it'd be the most ballsy thing that they could do with the story, because it will be the story will be boycotted, and there will be fucking riots about it if they try and do it. But so you remember how I was saying, and I really hate to go into this subject. I'm just going to skim by this subject because I hate to even talk about it, because it's a terrible subject.
Then you can just let it be.
Well, it's where I think the story may go.
Family-friendly content. Come on now.
Oh, this is not family friendly.
We blew that one out the water a long time ago.
So, just an open mind, open perspective on this. Remember what I was saying about Ellie? Possibly, if she has a kid, that kid could be immune because of natural evolution and everything. You have the natural, every generation that comes after that generation, it's like the human body will try and adapt to its situation, everything, have antibodies and everything built into the next generation, everything. Just kind of like the pandemic we're in now with natural herd immunity and everything. So God, okay. they could do this, but they would have to do it very, very carefully because the game could actually be hit with like a top tier rating where it can't be sold in stores and everything if they do it in a non-artistic way. Maybe Ellie gets caught by the wolves. Abby, and then, Abby wants to figure out to try and work with Ellie. So Abby kind of becomes like kind of an anti-hero in her own rights. And whoever Abby is trying to work with at the time wants to grab Ellie, and they're like, well, okay, we can't extract it without killing her. And she also has the antibodies, and they maybe assault Ellie to get a kid from Ellie in that way. I don't want to go into too much detail on that.
You're kind of going you're trying to go in the direction I was thinking for another way to be it, like where Abby meets back with the Fireflies. And we're like, oh yeah, I ran into. They're talking about the check the girl that's immune. Like, oh yeah, I know who that is, and then she's on this hunt to go find her, and just kind of it could go like two directions where she hunts her down and drags her against her will, or just catches her and be like, hey,
I think
you're the person that can save everybody. What
yeah.
You willing to come with me, or are we gonna have to do this the hard way?
I think Abby would make peace with Ellie because they kind of start to do it at the end there, where Ellie lets her go, and and Ellie realizes
like
that,
spoiler alert.
yeah, she like Ellie, and there's a lot of people, even I'm kind of like iffy on that ending, but I just feel like the reason why the ending there is because Abby she's going to end up coming to her senses and make peace with Ellie, because Ellie does have the keys to the future of the human race, basically, in her genes.
And that's where
genetics.
part 3 is left on the air. Like, are they going to do it, or
with
just going to save this the hell with it and chuck this game off to the side because of how much shit they got?
Maybe it could also be that the wolves, whatever's remaining of the wolves, because I'm guessing the wolves aren't well, maybe the wolves are finished, but the Fireflies are probably still out there. There's probably other factions of the Fireflies.
Yeah,
maybe they catch Ellie and they try. There might be a thing of an assault that happens to Ellie where they try and get Ellie to have a kid against her will, because she is a lesbian. She is not into guys and whatnot. So
you're going to a dark.
I know,
dark.
But this is kind of where
dark, and I'm just skirting over the top of everything.
I mean, it's kind of where that's how dark this story gets, though. And that's if they had the balls enough to do it. They have to do it very artistically, and they have to really be careful how they do it. But I mean, it's either going to end up with that, or it's going to end up with the survivor figuring out a way of doing it herself. I mean, that the best possible case scenario is that she, this Ellie comes across like this Abby here, and they start working together somehow, or they come to terms with what's happened in the past, and they just figure out that yes, we've lost too much stuff. There's something has to happen though, and that's where I'm like, man, they've set up so much of those two. Like they're not going to kill each other because we've already been past that. If they're not going to kill each other, then what's the next thing that's going to happen? What's going to happen to Ellie or Abby? I mean, she has Lev. Maybe somebody kills Lev, and then what are they going to do? All girl power trip to get revenge because the kid gets killed? I mean, what? It's got to be something happens to Ellie. That's where my brain is going. Something is going to just absolutely destroy Ellie, and Abby has to bring her back from the despair and the depression of it all. Abby will be actually the saving grace of Ellie in the long run. That redeems both characters in a way, because right now both characters are kind of assholes and they're kind of shitheads. They've killed so many people. They've gone after each other just on revenge for their own backgrounds and everything. And then they end up, there's a reason why Abby ends up like this and Ellie ends up like this. because they destroyed each other
Yep.
just trying to get at each other. Like I said, it's a very dark, twisted road that they're both walking, and I don't know how dark and twisted Neil Druckmann is willing to get. I don't know also how dark and twisted Ashley Johnson and Laura Bailey are willing to get with the characters too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
is Ashley Johnson willing to go through to make a scene like that? It's hard to say, you know. But this is the reason why this story will still probably be grounded, because you have the actors themselves. They will make sure that the story is artistic in the way that it is. It makes sense, and it makes what's the way of putting it? It's necessary. There we go. I think that's the big word for it. That whatever they do that is very dramatic is necessary to make the story viable to keep up with part 2. And that's their biggest challenge now. How do you end the trilogy out that tops this? That's a big order. That's a big shoes to fill. Can they do it? Can they do it? And I think that's the last question that's really on the table right now. We have to wait until the next teaser, which is probably going to be a couple years from now. We're not seeing part 3 anytime soon. It's been 1 year. It's going to be at least probably maybe 3 or 4 before we actually see part 3. Also, is there going to be any more Joel flashbacks? Is Troy going to be involved with the project? Is it going to be? I'm thinking Tommy. So Tommy's still out there. Who's the ones that are remaining still? Tommy, Ellie, Abby, Lev.
No, I think Tommy's dead. No,
he came back,
Okay.
and he's one that tells Ellie where Abby is.
so maybe
Up-
him and Ellie meet up, or Ellie, yes.
I know.
Him
I'm
and
doing-
Ellie meet back
too.
up, and they,
I,
go back to the whole fucking. We could go one way or another. Whether she's got the cure, and they all work together to figure something out, or
if she finds
everything
Tommy,
goes tits up.
what do you think Tommy? Because Tommy sets her on the revenge trip that gets her into this situation.
Mm-hmm.
So if she meets back up with Tommy again, it's going to be hell breaking loose, because Tommy he wants revenge for Joel. I mean, that whole scene, like the last scene that you see of Tommy, what is he doing? He's egging her on. He literally makes Dina walk out on her.
Man, like, come on, do it. I can't do it. You need to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to do it.
This is your mission. He was like basically your father. Like, you have to revenge him. And Dina's like, it's not worth it. Drop it. She loses everything in that. And like I said, they have to do something very epic with part 3 to keep up with this. And I'm just, knowing how Neil Druckmann writes for this series, my only thought is it's going to go very, very dark and very, very twisted. Hopefully, I think my biggest thing would be, don't bring it sci-fi. Like, it's sci-fi enough, it's still rooted in reality. It's not totally like zombie apocalypse, Resident Evil style, final, or total fantasy kind of witchcraft stuff and everything. Keep it rooted in reality in a way. So yeah, that's one hell of a, like I said, I knew this was going to be one hell of a game talk. I knew that this was going to be an impactful one. I waited so long for you to get through it, and there was so many things I was holding my tongue so bad, just trying not to blurt out everything that was going to happen and everything that ends up going, everybody goes through. Yeah, that by the way, that guitar that Ellie plays, you can actually buy it real life. There is a real life version of it. It's like $3-4 grand, I think it was last time I checked. It's a tailor-made guitar. You can actually find videos on YouTube of Troy Baker, the one who plays Joel, playing it IRL, and him singing "Future Days" on the guitar. He sings it as Joel. It's amazing. I think one other thing that so just to maybe break illusion a little bit, let me actually bring something up in the background here. Oops, that's not this one. Give me 1 second to cue something up, and everybody's gonna see it on the stream also.
Using my stream to promote your shit.
No. Actually, I'm actually promoting Troy and Ashley, the voice actors. Well, this moment, also the other one. I had three big moments. I mean, if you'll let me promote one video, I will promote it. But the other one
Might as well go for it at this point. I mean,
Ellie's...
It's not like we don't talk about shit that I've got coming up when we're playing games. So.
All right, so let me actually make sure that there's not going to be... Yep, I knew there was going to be an ad. It's good old YouTube and their ads.
Yay, ads.
All right, so I think first of all we can go with this. Welcome to what I have to deal with behind the scenes. Yeah, Bibbidi Boo. Oh my God, 2 ads. YouTube, please. I'm trying to set up a closing moment for this.
Apparently, you need some health insurance or car insurance and some real clothes.
All right, so this was back in
according to YouTube.
This was back in 2017. So let me actually flip this up onto the. That's a really cool screen. This is
Inception.
So you should be able to hear the stream also, or you should be able to hear this also. Let's
maybe we'll see.
Yeah, 720.
I would have heard a damn thing other than your voice.
Can you hear it?
Which is kind of weird.
So this is actually Ellie and Joel.
Damn thing.
Actually,
you're good. Just run it.
Hold on. I can maybe make it happen. Wait. Desktop audio. No, because that's.
Don't worry about it. Just run it. Run it.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
That's cool. Oh, okay. All right. So we're taking this from
just
very
went ludicrous speed there for a second.
So this is the voice actors for Ellie.
Okay.
Ashley Johnson there.
Did they like face scanner and tweak it a little bit or something, or?
Well, they do face capture, absolutely. I don't know if they scan.
Okay.
Ellie for the longest time looked like Ellen Page, and then they had to change it.
To which I go, I'm going there.
And there's Troy Baker, the one who plays everybody in every video game ever made, especially Joel.
Yeah, he does kind of, okay. He does kind of look like Joel.
Also a cheap plug because the podcast is so damn amazing and they've done so many Last of Us Part 2 talks. Play, Watch, Listen, Alana Pierce's channel. Troy Baker's on there with Austin Winfrey and Mike Bithell. They talk a lot of game design and everything. You can learn a lot off from that podcast.
I know my way.
Get a little bit of Troy's spot on here too.
This body rests in the old churchyard.
Fucking mega talented. And then I think we can. Good old Troy, man. He's cool dude.
Yep.
I'm going there to see my Savior. I'm going
Oh.
there, no more to roam.
So there was a thing at the Game Awards. Troy shared a bit of a story, and in Last of Us Part 2 here, so Joel always wanted to be a singer, and that was kind of like so. Long story short, Neil Druckmann, they come in for Last of Us. I think it was The Last of Us Part 1, the very first game, and they came in, and Druckmann was trying to figure out how he was going to build the characters of Ellie and Joel, right? So, let me click this backwards to Joel. So basically, Druckmann, he asked Ashley Johnson, he goes, if you weren't an actor, and this was at the Game Awards, so some people probably have heard this before, but he asked Ashley Johnson, if you weren't an actress, what would you be? And she goes, I don't know, an astronaut, just very nonchalantly out of the blue. Then he looks at Troy and he goes, well, what would you be? Troy goes, a musician. Troy's from Texas, so country musician. And lo and behold, what does Ellie really love in the game?
Yep.
You go to a dinosaur museum and she is infatuated with space. Joel, always playing guitar, always singing to Ellie. So he literally, Druckmann was like trying to get the most natural, lifelike, add just the actors themselves into the characters to make them the most lifelike and most believable. That's the reason why Joel's death hits so hard, because he's a real person. He's basically got all the traits of a real person. It just hits you that hard. Now, to I guess to end this off, to lighten up the load, you need to turn on the stream volume or something, because I wish I could make this push through to yours. But let's replay one of the greatest sections. I actually need to. Oh yes. And to say it anyway. One of the greatest Easter eggs. Ellie playing Take On Me. I think this is how we end it. I feel like we've covered all bases. We'll leave this off on a high note. Literally, Take On Me is a very high note. I think that's kind of the perfect song, too. All right. So, if you got anything to promote, I'd say do it now.
Nothing. I mean, I'm not gonna give this game. I'm not gonna do the rating thing on this game because everybody is so opinionated about it. Because I don't want to catch a bunch of hate for giving it. Oh, I thought this game was a 10 out of 10, and we're like, oh, no, we're not gonna get into that crap. So we're just gonna drop that off this game.
I'm gonna say highly recommend.
I do recommend playing the first one and then playing this one if you want to continue on the story and it be kind of like on that train. Like, is there going to be a 3 or are they just done? I'm 100% go for a 3. Figure something out. Go for a 3rd.
I think they have to. I think they have to at this point.
They kind of leave it. They left it hanging in the air. But I do. Yes, definitely recommend playing them through. They were great games. Anything else you got for your ending?
I guess my lasting impression on it is, again, the same as you. Highly recommend playing the first game. The first game came with a lot of PS4, so you might actually already have a copy of it digitally. It was a PS3 game. It got remastered. Came out on PS4.
Like, I think it's on PlayStation now, right now too, isn't it?
Yes, I think so. The other cool thing too that I almost forgot to mention is there's a lot of screen filters. So if you actually want to tweak if you want to tweak the graphics a little bit without having to worry about
there's some
PC
audio
version.
ones there's a couple of audio ones in
Yeah.
there too that I saw. There's one there for helium mode, which I'm thinking like I wonder how hilarious it would be to play through this game with that. With everybody fucking talking like they just sucked down about.
I will
helium.
say one of the screen filters for Last of Us Remastered actually made the game like pop for the because it was kind of faded a little bit, and it actually made the dark spots pop out, the shadowing pop out a little bit better. I was like, cool. But yeah, highly recommends definitely both of these two. Again, I hope you didn't watch this video all the way through if you haven't played the first two games, because they are just they're. As I keep stressing, and I've made videos about it and everything, these are not games, they're experiences. You are not just playing a game set in the world and running through and doing stuff. You are experiencing an adventure and a thrill ride with characters that are very believable, very lifelike, and just all the like the geeky game design stuff that I know. It's wrapped up so well. Everybody at Naughty Dog, everybody that tested this, everybody who worked on this game, any form, fashion, just applause, hats off. Holy shit, you made an amazing title. Probably one of the best of the PS4. I cannot stress how much this game was just. This is one of these titles that is just a landmark thing in gaming history. Whether you love it, whether you hate it, everybody is still talking about it. It's on the level of a Ghost of Tsushima. It's on the level of a Final Fantasy VII remake. And I'm saying Ghost of Tsushima, and you know my thoughts on that one. I almost think it surpasses. FF7 remake is maybe the only other game that came out on the PS4 that I'm just like, whoa! Like my mind was blown on that one also.
We did a Let's Talk About That a while back after I finished it.
And that was, I mean, we're saying some of the same stuff of like perspective shifts and everything on that one too. It's just for some reason that works really well in storytelling, perspective shifts, because you're seeing it in one way, and then all of a sudden, boom, everything gets shifted around, and it's like, oh. But I guess, I think that's gonna do it. The only other little tidbit of information I can say about the PS5 version is there's no PS5 upgrade yet. Hopefully, we're going to see one by the end of the year. I think that I've heard word that they're working on it at Naughty Dog to have a PS5 60 FPS patch, but also
let's worry about getting people PS5s that can afford them and want them yet.
Well, yeah, I'm saying though, there is already adaptive triggers and there's already DualSense support. So this game is heading for like a next gen version. So if you are holding out on playing this for like a next gen version, it's coming hopefully, unless it gets canceled or something. So, yeah, I guess we're at the promotional point.
Okay. Well, again, as always, I always love when you guys come and watch my videos, either if it's on the VODs or over on YouTube. It makes me feel good. I'm not here. I'm not after the money. I'm doing this because I enjoy making content, being a content creator. So I'll just get, thanks to everybody that's followed me and watched me, all that stuff. Get that out there. So you guys are loved.
Hell, I've been doing this for like 4 or 5 years for free, even longer.
Yeah. So if you want to find out what's going on, sometimes you can follow me on Twitch, or not Twitch, but Twitter, to know when I'm streaming on Twitch. If you don't want to give me a follow on here and get blasted every time we do something. Otherwise, you can give me that's Frostbite84 over there. Otherwise, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to catch the live, like these live game talks, the live streams, like me and Wolf are goofing around, having a good time. You can check me out on Twitch at Frost_Bite84, and sooner or later I will change the dang name around over on YouTube.
Yeah, we're working
but
on
for
it.
now, you could go watch. You can go catch everything else I've done. Some of the classic moments I've had in games, and Wolf here's been so kind-hearted to edit for me over there on YouTube at The Angry Wedge. On a side note, you can also catch Warwolf here at
Yeah.
Warwolf across everything. I think you're still working on what, Mass Effect? You still working on your Mass Effect playthrough, or are you done with that?
I am doing on Twitch. Yes, I am working through the second half of Mass Effect 2, and also I'm gonna be playing through 3, all the DLC, and of course we're gonna probably jump into Andromeda. I know Andromeda, but we're gonna try and mod it maybe a little bit, possibly. But also on top of that, Resident Evil 8 is coming up right around the corner, so I'm probably going to be doing a giant Resident Evil. That's my channel, is like a lot of Resident Evil stuff, a lot of like competitive games, and then some story, all the newest story-driven games. That's on the Twitch channel, and Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays streaming over there. I try and stream as early in the night as possible. And then end by 11 o'clock. So usually I try and start around 7 to 8. And then over on the YouTube side of things, you can find Let's Talks, where it's like trailer breakdowns, discussions. You can find replays of like Summer Games events, E3, all that stuff. And then some VODs over there too of the most important stuff. There is a Warwolf VODs channel too out there. So if you want to see just like uncut, uncensored VODs, it's there. Then Tone Wolf, where I do a bunch of music covers and everything. I just put up one related to this game, Future Days, the song that Joel plays to Ellie, which is amazing, and I had to do a cover of it. I actually sang for the second time ever on video in a recorded fashion. I sang. So yeah, that's let's see here. Oh, also on Instagram, at Warwolf on everything. So that's pretty much my stuff. All right.
All right.
I think we're good. I think that's.
If you guys
This was
come
a
check
year
it
in the
out,
making.
check it out here. I think, and I'm going to go ahead and start it. I promised you guys I'd do it. I'm going to do it. Evil Within 2. Do a run through on this one.
Okay.
So I was thinking about doing Resident Evil 7, but I don't want to take away from Wolf Sunder here doing his legacy playthrough.
I'm playing Resident Evil 7 in third person mode, so it's like, I mean, I got a whole thing going on. It's all modded and everything.
I'm not gonna skip around. I mean, I said I was gonna play the second one, so that's what I'm gonna do now.
Right.
And keep your eyes peeled for some more Game Talk Lives. I might be dipping into some From Software titles. Those.
Sorry. Jeez.
But
We gotta wrap this
yeah.
up. Getting paid.
All right. So well, that's this Game Talk. And
Yeah, this was a year in the making. It was great, and it was awesome talking about it. It was awesome seeing your reactions. I was curious to see just how you would react, and it was how I was hoping it would be. Everybody has one hell of a reaction to this title, so just I hope everybody just out there enjoys it, and for whatever reason, and yeah, I guess we just wrap it up with thanks for tuning in, thanks for stopping by, and as always, we will both see ya next time.